Well, good morning. It is 3:08 and I am heading up to Pikes Peak. I've been hiking a little bit in the last couple weeks and was able to hike Pikes Peak about 2 weeks ago, and it was pretty exciting, and so I guess I've got the 14er bug. It's about 71 degrees, so it's pretty warm, and the nice thing is the moon's nice and bright, so I'm not too worried about not seeing where I'm supposed to go on the trail. But I'm looking forward to a good hike and hope that I'm able to feel good the entire way. I got to Manitou and it is hot out. It's like 80 degrees. It's kind of really strange, but at least I'm going to be able to get a good hike in with it being warm here. I officially started the hike at 4 o'clock a.m. exactly. In the next three shots, you're going to notice that it gets a little bit lighter out as morning approaches. Well, it's about 1 hour in. I'm well above Colorado Springs, and you can see in the distance that there are some storm clouds out there. That's probably associated with the incoming front, so I'll need to make sure that I end up at the top before those storms start to roll in. Feeling pretty good so far. Haven't eaten breakfast or dinner last night, and I need to probably drink some water. Hoping to make it up to the bar camp in about another hour, I think. So we'll see how I do. My other option to get up to the bar trail was to go up the incline, but I was smart and didn't do that. I climbed up over the incline, and in view was Pikes Peak. Alright, well, I'm considerably higher up. Drank some water so I feel a little bit better. You can still see that sun hasn't come up yet, and it's about 5:30. And got quite a ways to go. Past the sign, it said 3.5 miles to bar camp. That was about a quarter of a mile ago, so thinking about I have 3 more miles to bar camp, rest up so I can push to the top. I think it's another 6 miles to the top from there, so doing okay. Pretty high up. It's all gradual right now, but it was pretty intense for a while. Well, I'm getting closer. In fact, these trees are out of the way. You can almost see where the summit is. Got a ways to go, but it is incredibly beautiful vantage point. I don't think I've ever seen Pikes Peak from this view, this close up front. That's just really amazing. There we go. As you can see the summit house at the very top, and a whole lot of hiking to go. I just passed a sign that said 4 miles on the trail, so at 4 miles, that's probably 2 more miles to get to the bar camp, and it's approaching 6 o'clock. The nice thing about bar trail is that as you climb, it flattens out a little bit into a plateau to bar camp, so you can rest a little bit on this easier walk before you hit the hard stuff later on. Alright, well, we're coming up on a mile marker here. Mile marker 5. So 5 miles on the trail. Passed the sign a little while ago. It said 7.8 miles to the summit. Kind of makes sense, about 13 miles. So guessing a little, I'm thinking 7 miles from here. It's about 12 miles total. So 7 miles. I'm still being able to see the summit the entire time. It's pretty neat, though still looks like an intimidating hike. I'd say, if you can see there, all the way up there is the summit. So it's still up quite a ways, and tree line isn't for a while. So I think bar camp's coming up in about a half mile to a mile, so I'll be taking some pictures there. All right, well, made it to mile marker 6 and bar camp. It's about 7 o'clock, I think, maybe a little before. So 3 hours from the top, or from the bottom to the top of bar camp here. And I am definitely gonna rest here for a little bit. I'm getting kind of tired. It's kind of rough, and I know I have another 4,000 feet to go even after this, so halfway to the Pikes Peak elevation and mileage. So this is definitely kind of intense. Bar camp is beautiful, and the interesting thing about bar camp is that in order to get supplies to this camp, since there's no road that accesses it, the cog train that goes up Pikes Peak has to deliver the supplies, and that cog train runs about half a mile to a mile away from camp. On this map, you're going to notice an X towards the middle to the top. That's where bar camp is, and on the left is Pikes Peak. Well, this stretch definitely gained a lot of elevation and continues to do so. I just saw Rampart Range Road well below me, so I know I'm nearing the 11,000 mark. About 3,000 feet to go. Legs are starting to ache quite a bit, but pushing forward. There's some pretty spectacular views. It's kind of hard to see, but essentially we're higher than most of the mountains around here, which is pretty neat. I guess there's a couple more that are about equal level here, so probably another 2.5 hours to the top. I definitely made some progress. Not above tree line yet, and I think it's a little after 8. Let me just double check the time here. Yeah, 8:30 actually. It's about 8:30. You can see Cheyenne Mountain. It's down there. It's nice to say down there, knowing how much I climbed. And Colorado Springs, you can kind of see Manitou. That's kind of distance I went up so far, but I can still see quite a few trees above me, so I don't know, I'm probably slowing way down. Hopefully maybe an hour and a half from the summit, maybe 2. Then that means about 10:30, so we'll see how it goes. I finally came in view of the peak here. Still a ways up there, but I think I can tell that I'm about at tree line here, so that's good news. That's about 12,000, close to it, maybe 11.8. From this point forward, this was the most difficult stretch of the whole hike. Not only are we dealing with altitude, but just the endurance of trying to climb for almost 13 miles starts to wear on you. And so you're going to see a lot of pictures above timberline, and a lot of it was taken for breaks. The pictures were taken so I could take a break. Up about 12,700, 2 miles to the summit. That makes it about 1,500 feet a little less. It's about 750 feet each mile. So I'm in the last stretch. 2 to go. Beautiful out here though. This rock wall here, you can kind of see the distance. I saw the train right up on this ridge earlier, so kind of gauging the summit by that slope right there. I'm getting pretty close. You never get to see unless you hike it. It's so intricate and so complex. It's really cool. This part is called 16 Golden Stairs, one of the most difficult parts of the entire trail. Big steps, not really 16, more like 100. Well, starting to putter out here. Getting real tired, my legs are sore. According to my Fitbit, this is about 300 more floors than the last run up from Crags. So much bigger elevation gain. It's beautiful. Wish I could just sit here now, but fortunately I've got to climb up all these rocks now. And I know I'm getting close because I saw the summit house and I know where it is, so my only hope is that I get there about the same time or a little bit before everyone in the family. But if not, this is a pretty good workout. I got a lot of people saying I'm almost at the top. Guess I can believe them. Very close. Very, very close. Starting to put up the markers here on the stones. And yeah, there's the last video I took right down there. What do you know? It's so small from here. Well, I made it. Maybe not in one piece. But now just to look for the family. We made it up to the top. Feels good. 14,144 feet. Started at elevation of 6,000.